Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Monday, October 16th. We're going to take a look at the Ark Innovation ETF, ARKK today. So we have levels and trend lines to put in on the Webull chart here, and then we'll flip over to the Think or Swim study to see how things are looking there. Call it a video. So several interesting things happening here. One, it looks to me like there's a trend line here, a downtrend resistance trend line. Let's see if it pans out. Yeah, it's pretty solid. So put this puppy in here. That, as is always the case when I put these in, I will say this is the most important piece of the puzzle as it pertains to ARK, bucking the trend here. As you can see in the Think or Swim study, it's in a downtrend, a bearish trend on the daily. And, it sounds obvious to say breaking the downtrend resistance is a way to reverse the trend, but it's not just because the price will have to rise to break through it, but it's that it needs to get through it and get some distance, because every time it tries to swing, it just gets cut off immediately. And so, it's not enough to just say, okay, if it can swing higher than the last swing, that's something. It needs to really break and leave behind this downtrend. So if a break starts to come, we'll come back and take a look at it if folks are interested and see if it's getting some distance, because that's the other piece of the puzzle. It needs to get some distance and basically, leave that behind in order for it to, have the opportunity to go ahead and reverse course. So there's also a little gap here that I would be aware of. And in case it does retreat down further, this gap would fill at about 35.90. It would get in the gap at about 36.40. So, that coupled with, I don't know if this is going to be a support level, so I'm not going to do that yet, but there is an interesting possibility here for like a double bottom to be put in. Now, if it loses this and we get a swing low below this most recent low down here at 37.55, I'd be pretty concerned that that gap is going to quickly approach, and it's, continuing to be trapped under this downtrend resistance. So those are the things that I would look out for. Now, I'm going to scroll quite a bit back because we do have really good previous price action in this range. So I'm going to plot some levels based on all this price action back here. You see a triple bottom-ish area right around here. So I'm going to put a level in there. Let's see where we want it. I would put it maybe about here. Let's see. How does it look if we put it here? Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. 39.88, just shy of 40. So that's just a little bit higher than where we are right now. Put a level in right here, 38.50. Almost exactly where we are right now. Let's see. Is there anything interesting here? This is better, let's say. 37.14. Let's see, there's more price action through here. Let's see if there's anything interesting over here. I don't think there's anything additionally interesting there. Let's see when we get a little bit toward more recent price action. This could be interesting. Yeah, well, this is going to be, quite a bit further away, but swing high, swing low. So support flipped to resistance, but that's, like I said, quite a bit further away than where we are now, but this has a lot of good topping out in this range, so we can add these levels in here. We won't try to destroy the view and clutter things up too aggressively, but let's get ourselves some decent number of levels in here, and then we can zoom in and see how they look. Okay, I don't know that I'm going to put really anything below that 37.14 at the moment, because below that, then pretty quickly, less than $1, it would get into the gap. So I'm not going to worry about that for the time being. And if it slips that gap, here's another really interesting spot. Hey folks, just so you know, you can get these videos early and ad-free. If you click on the description below and become a member, you can make that happen, and I really appreciate the support. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so I'm not going to go down further than that, but these look good to me for now. So if we zoom in and see how these levels would have looked on the intraday, say on the 10-minute, so you see here fighting with that potential double bottom area just on the most recent swing, and then today trying to climb up over and catch support over this 38.50. So we'll see what happens there. You see it got topped out right around where it did on the last trading day, but looks like it got stomped out a little bit lower. So not super motion there. Now, if we check out the Think or Swim study, we are toward the lower end of the channel here. TTM squeeze indicator shows potentially bearish momentum dying down, but as you see here, this bearish momentum died down, and it had a quick flip to some bullish momentum, but not nearly as heavy as the bearish momentum that preceded it, and then also not nearly as heavy as the bearish momentum that came after it. So this time the swing on the histogram not quite as strong of pressure as we saw on the last swing over here, but still, pretty significant, at least compared to the bullish motion. That said, it had left the channel back here, and this is really strong pressure because it can't even push back to the mid-range, and it got shoved back out again. Now in the most recent swing here, it at least came and tested the mid-range, but as you see, bears still in charge. It just pushed concretely off of it and has nearly had to come down to the bottom of the channel again. Now if it can make another motion up toward this mid-range of the channel, and it didn't need to swing down to test the lower bound of the channel, that could give me some sort of moment of pause to say, okay, maybe this has the oomph to get through the mid-range of that channel this time, not just up to it and then reject off of it like it did last time. So I'm really interested to see what comes next. A push to the lower bound of the channel, which would make me feel more like, okay, the bears really still have a grip on this thing, or on the other side, on the flip side, the potential for a shift if it can come test the mid-range of that channel and work its way through without having to have come down and tested the bottom bound of the channel. Still see here trapped under the red cloud and in a downtrend with a bearish momentum continuing to outpace the bulls thus far, but this is pretty interesting at the moment to see what happens on this attempt. My worry if I were an ARK bull here would be, how many times can the price come into this range before the bulls just don't show up and the buying pressure just isn't there anymore? So I don't know if that's even sort of potentially happening or not, but just something that I would maybe be keeping an eye out for. You do see there's a lot of interest in volume just above where the price action is right now, or really right within where it settled today, and slightly higher than there. So this is where the stepping in is still happening, but we'll see how that continues to take shape over the coming days. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week was off to a good start today, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.